Welcome to the 7 News Review, your quick recap of the top local and state stories this week from Southwest Oklahoma and beyond. I'm Dave Hunter, and here's what you need to know. Our top story this week, multiple agencies continue to battle multiple fires across the Oklahoma panhandle. In Beaver County, the morning fire has stopped forward progression and is now under control, burning about 820 acres. Meanwhile, the Ranger Road fire, which started in Beaver County and moved into Kansas, spans over 283,000 acres and is only 20% contained. Tragically, several firefighters have been injured. One firefighter from Follett suffered 17 cracked ribs. 3 Harper County firefighters were thrown from a truck. One is at OU Medical Center with a brain bleed, another has a broken leg, and a third is being treated for second-degree burns. In Texas County, the Stevens fire is 60% contained after burning nearly 13,000 acres northwest of Hooker. Evacuations for the town of Tyrone have been lifted, but many have lost homes and personal belongings. The Side Road fire, also in Texas County, is 75% contained, having burned over 3,600 acres and causing a 7-vehicle crash. Officials confirm multiple homes and structures were lost in both Texas County fires. And tragically also taking place this week, one of the children critically injured in Tuesday's structure fire on Southwest C Avenue in Lawton has died. The announcement was made by the city of Lawton Thursday evening. The second child admitted to the hospital remains in critical condition in Oklahoma City. Lawton Fire Chief Jared Williams shared his condolences with the family regarding the news. It was early Tuesday morning that the Lawton Fire Department responded to the devastating structure fire. At approximately 4:01 a.m., LFD arrived at the home on C Avenue to find a residence heavily involved in flames. Firefighters immediately made entry through the back of the home, where they located and removed a child from the burning structure. As the search continued, a second child was located and rescued. Life-saving measures were initiated immediately by Lawton Fire Department personnel, Lawton Police Department officers, and Memorial Health EMS teams. Multiple EMS units responded to provide critical patient care and transport. 4 additional children and an adult who were also inside the residence at the time of the fire were able to escape without injury. The cause of the fire remains under investigation by the Lawton Fire Department. Now, here are some of the top stories making headlines across Oklahoma this week. First, on Tuesday, 7 News political analyst Justin Allen Rose sat down with candidate for Oklahoma Governor Charles McCall for an interview covering a wide array of topics. Issues such as education, taxes, agriculture, tribal relations, and abortion were all discussed during the interview. Here's a snippet of that conversation where McCall is asked about his stance on the state's medical marijuana program.
During the state's last State of the State address, I would say one of the biggest things that got a lot of media was the state question proposal of trying to get rid of medical marijuana, or asking the voters of Oklahoma if they want to get rid of it. What do you stand on the medical marijuana issue in Oklahoma?
Well, it certainly has changed the dynamic of the state and families, and there definitely is a negative consequence since the legalization of it. And some will argue that some are being helped from it. The bottom line is the people can decide what they want to do, and I will always respect the voters and the people of the state. But if we truly are going to continue to have a so-called medical marijuana program in the state, we've got to start treating it like medical marijuana. There needs to be dosing requirements that come from doctors, not just the original issuance of a medical marijuana card. Follow-up consultations with the doctors. There should be a specific amount of prescribed THC levels, rather than this just go try it out yourself and see what works for you. We have kids coming to school that are stoned or numb. They're in no condition to learn. There's abuse within it. We need to if we're going to keep our focus on the medical aspect of it and really use it for medicinal purposes. purposes.
You mentioned how there's a lot of negative consequences. I guess the medical legalization of marijuana in Oklahoma. Some say there's been positives. Do you think there has been any positives regarding legalization in Oklahoma?
Well, if I were to point to a positive, I think it has probably helped us move away from opioid abuse in the state. I'd say that's probably the number one positive that's come from it. We just had a very free market, open approach through this state question that passed. Starting out with over 9,000 grow licenses, it's still below 1,700 today, going below 700, I'm told, next year. But we're still producing more than can be consumed here, which means we still have the trafficking problem of both drugs, illegal drugs, and humans. That's the dark side of it. And as governor, I'm going to find all of the illegally owned land, foreign-owned land in the state. We're going to seize it, put it back in the hands of Oklahomans. We are going to prosecute the nefarious activities, the criminal activities, and if they don't leave before I find them, that's what's going to happen. And we're going to take back control of our state, and we're going to get this marijuana issue under control if the people choose to keep it.
And lastly, for your state news, multiple Oklahoma legislators commented Tuesday on the death of civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. Oklahoma Legislative Black Caucus Chair Ron Stewart released a statement on Jackson's death. Stewart said he was saddened by the news and reflected on the Reverend's legacy. House Democratic leader Cindy Munson of Oklahoma City also released a statement. Munson said she was grieved by Jackson's death and praised his work in the civil rights movement. Before we wrap up, here's a few community quick hits. First, Harvest Bank is gearing up to open its bilingual branch in Lawton in just over a week. Its expressed purpose is to assist the region's Hispanic community, offering resources and associates for both Spanish and English speakers without the need for a translator. The ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new branch will be at 4 p.m. February 24th at the Harvest off of West Gore Boulevard. Harvest Branch sales manager Jorge Arriaga said he's been a strong advocate for this opportunity as he has a history of supporting his Spanish-speaking parents. He said that out of the 500 Spanish-speaking associates with Harvest Bank, around 90 of them are in Oklahoma. And also taking place in the community this week, one of Oklahoma's congressional lawmakers took a trip to Lawton. Senator James Langford met with members of the Lawton-Fort Sill Chamber of Commerce. They discussed several key issues impacting southwest Oklahoma and how he's fighting for the region while in Washington. The lawmaker also took time for a tour of the public safety facility to see how Lawton's first responders operate. Langford spoke on the ongoing wildfires and stressed the importance of emergency response efforts as well as FEMA reform. He also spoke about the impacts the Working Families Tax Cut Act has had on the community. This act was signed into law last July, but people are just now starting to feel the effects as they file their taxes. Well, that's this week's 7 News Review. I'm Dave Hunter, and for more on these stories and the latest breaking news, head over to kswo.com or download the 7 News app. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with another 7 News Review.